everybody. Thank you for being here. And the Liveweek team, thank you for giving me this platform to introduce Akshar Center for Hearing Impaired Children, which works out of Baroda, India. And this is a center of education for children with deafness. Sanskrit word Akshar means both a letter of the alphabet and that which cannot be destroyed. And I thought it was appropriate when I started this 30 years ago, because we were always at risk, having no no sort of a source of funding which was permanent. So this was the worry, and so Akshar was the name. The journey for me personally started much earlier, 44 years ago, as a trained professional to teach deaf children. What drives Akshar? Of course, it is the need to address disability, but particularly for us, it is these are the statistics in India, and this is one of the latest reports. So we are told that 2.04 million children between the ages of 0 to 6 are disabled. That means 1 in every 100 child, and of these, 23% are hearing impaired. And when we look at the other end of the spectrum, we find that the total population, 2.21% are people with disability. Of these, 45% are illiterate. And of those who are literate, only 8.5% are graduates. And worse still, only 36% are employed. And of course, there is no argument against education, and this is where Akshar steps in. So we look at what are the implications of deafness and how we can help the child with deafness. So of course, it's language and speech and communication and the resultant social isolation, or as Helen Keller said, keeping away from things. That is what blindness does, but keeping away from people is what is the impact of deafness. The journey started in 1988. There were 5 students. One was 12 months, one was 12 years. I was the only person involved. There were no other staff members. And we had to move many times. But the work never ceased. In 2000, the government of Gujarat gave us land, wasteland, out in the wilderness. And it took us 16 years of perseverance to build this green building. It is made of thatch and mud compacted bricks and designed in an honorary capacity by architects Karan Rogan Associates, who have been very proactive in the green building area. And what is it that Akshar does, and whom do we work for? We work for the child with congenital sensory neural loss. And largely from the economically weaker section of society. Not one child in 30 years has paid what it has cost us or has been asked to pay that. And Akshar has grown to meet the needs of the child. It's been a very organic growth. It is a non-profit, voluntary and secular organization. And we believe that it is really literacy and communication skills which will give them a chance to be independent. So our core services include an early intervention, which is from 0 to 6. And the youngest child there has been 3 months, and this is the oldest in Gujarat. We have from grades 1 to 12 in both Hindi and Gujarati, and it's the only center in Gujarat offering Hindi as a medium of instruction. Mainstreaming of more than 70 students, adaptation of text, a great emphasis and focus on amplification in spite of many challenges. Teacher training has been very, very valuable. We started this long ago, and at the moment we have 3 teacher training programs running. And many of these staff members, there are 30 staff members now. Of these, the special educators are all qualified, and more than that, because we have a distance mode program as well, many of them have upgraded their qualifications while working, and there is a structured plan of succession in place. Good practices include admissions through the year, admissions to children with additional disabilities, admission to the late intervened child, and great use of technology both in the classrooms, both for education and for amplification, and a lot of collaboration with other agencies who are involved with disability and education. The impact has been that 130 of our students have cleared their school leaving board exams. Many more have done so from the mainstream group. And this is special because under the Ministry of Social Justice, they do not expect them to go beyond class 8, which is primary level. But Akshar students have been pursuing courses of commerce, fine arts, HRD, architecture, engineering. We have 5 who have qualified for Masters of Commerce, 1 who's a mechanical engineer, 1 who is completing her architecture. And of course, this is the skill development has been the latest addition to the projects and the activities. This is a unique model in which Paul Mason Consulting, who is a UK-based corporate software company, has sponsored a skill development agency exclusively for Akshar students, and dropouts are also included, and job placement is helped. And all through the years, even before Paul Mason Consulting, we have been helping the students. So we have many in executive positions in banks. We have some as software analysts, accountants, and in government organizations in various positions. Capacity building seemed to be the natural step 15 years ago. And so we decided to share our expertise and experience. And one has been the president of the National Convention of the Educators of the Deaf. Many of my colleagues are now in committees. We have been very active in setting up the Gujarat chapter and involved in conferences. Upscaling seemed to be, this is what we got into a few years ago, and we are mentoring other special schools in Gujarat, mentoring special educators, and hosting educational courses. And of course, contributing to publications and films. Bhasha Trust started a People's Linguistic Survey of India after the last one, which was completed in 1928. And thanks to Akshar, they have recognized Indian Sign Language as one of the languages of India in this survey. And so there's an entire volume on Indian Sign Language. We've also got a film on total communication, which we created for the Rehabilitation Council, which is the apex body for disability professionals, and various other publications that they have been involved with. How do we run? We run with community support. The government, there's only one scheme of government under which we have got a little bit of very sporadic money. So it is basically the individual and corporates, both from India and abroad. We have the Vidya Vikas Charitable Trust here in the USA, which has believed in us and has been helping us over the years. Corporate social responsibility from various organizations in India, ONGC, GACL, and of course fundraising and tax benefits. And we looked around in these 30 years and we said, where can we get help? And that is what has been our core strength. The army helped us initially. I just went up to them and I said, where do I go now? We have all these children, we don't have a roof. They helped. We went to the municipal authorities. We proved to them they had empty space, empty school buildings, and they looked after us for 20 years. We went to the government and successfully got land. We went to the corporates and we went into a temple and we asked for food because we didn't have enough money for a midday meal, and so for 21 years that is what is provided. And of course volunteers. We've had very competent and qualified people from across the globe who have been coming to Akshar. Some of them have worked for a year. We have just completed 2 of them who've been there with us for a year. And then knowing that there's a gap between what is required and what is available, we decided to do a lot of awareness raising. So we've been addressing universities and other organizations. We've done CBR, we've done a 3-month survey of inclusive education, all on our own steam, without any government money or any kind of sustained support. Some awards, with God's grace, have come our way. And what are we now? We are now an institute, though we had very small beginnings. We have sustained with a major regular grant from government, innovative solutions. That has been what we have had to do, and we have successfully done that. To the challenges and have been and are constantly being found. Available resources, community help, linkages have been availed. The sustainable model has been established and is being shared. And we have moved beyond our boundaries to capacity build the field in Gujarat and in India. And where are we hoping to go? This is what we've started a few years ago, is to find a corpus. So we need this because it's like, we have to find the funding every year on. And that is not easy. So we need to strengthen our early intervention. So we have, investment for the future, better salaries, complete infrastructure, and push capacity building. So give us opportunities, we believe, and we will achieve. Thank you.